The UN has warned that South Sudan could face a genocide similar to the one that happened in Rwanda. It's urged the international community to deploy 4,000 soldiers to prevent it. Well, let's talk to Fidelis Mbah, our correspondent. The UN has just held a special session about this, Fidelis. What have they had to say?
Well, they feel that the government has not done enough in terms of trying to resolve the crisis in that country. They feel like there should be an arms embargo so that both parties, that's talking about forces loyal to the former Vice President Riek Machar and the President Salva Kiir, so that they won't have access to weapons to be able to kill people. They feel more protection should be put in place for aid workers who are trying to reach areas that have been cut off from food supplies. And also they feel that the media should be more independent because we've had journalists killed who are trying to cover the crisis. We've also for people who are displaced, because we have hundreds of thousands of South Sudanese people who are displaced. Some of them have fled across the country. In fact, about 1 million of them have been displaced at the moment.
There's so much attention on what's happening in Syria at the moment. Is there a danger that the international community will not give attention to this report and the situation there?
Well, with this special session now, I think it's actually a welcome development, because before now, it's been a case of a few UN officials getting on the plane, going to Juba, just having a chat with government officials. Sometimes they are able to access some of the zones that have been cut off and then get to people who are in UN camps. There hasn't been much international attention on South Sudan, given the seriousness that it deserves, because we're talking about a country that, potentially, if it's in deep crisis, would affect the entire East African bloc, because it's right in the middle of other countries that are in crisis, like DRC, like Uganda, like Sudan. So if there's a bigger crisis than it is now, it's going to result in a serious humanitarian crisis. And I feel that, the UN coming in now is actually something that should be applauded, because before now, it's been a case of not paying so much attention that it deserves.
Fidelis, thank you very much indeed for joining us.